Hey y'all, in this video, we're going to take a look behind the scenes in SQL Server at something called systems, objects, and views. Now, this is super important because this is how SQL Server stores its own data, and it's something that you absolutely need to know about if you're going to be able to pull back things about your tables, your views, the code you've written for some sort of report or data quality scorecard. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Let's get to work. The first thing I want to show you is where this information is and where you can find it in SQL Server. And here I am in SSMS, and you'll find this in any database. So I'm going to just use one of my AdventureWorks databases. And as I open that up and go into views, you'll see your normal views here. But right above that, you see this guy right here, it says Systems Views. If you just click that, open that up, you'll see a whole score of different views that the system uses. Now, the ones that we're going to be concerned about are just a couple. All right. So I will show you right here. We're going to filter on objects. Okay. So if I hit objects and I see this one called sys.objects, if I right mouse click on that and just say select, what you'll see is the list of all of the systems objects within SQL Server. Now, where it gets interesting is if you start looking for something that you would recognize, right? And this is where naming convention, and I'll have a follow-up video on this, but where naming convention really comes into play. So for example, let's say I wanted to see everything in my database that started with DQ underscore. So I'm going to say where the name is like percent, actually DQ underscore percent. And if I run that guy, it brings up everything in the database that starts with DQ underscore. Now, if you look just a couple of columns over here, this type description and type, this helps us to know what type of object it is stored inside of SQL Server. So that's another really key field inside of this particular table. So for example, this DQ customer email address is a view. This DQ metrics refresh job is a stored procedure. And then DQ rule metrics is a table. You get the idea. So you could list, or you could limit your selection here to just tables, just views, just stored procedures. Again, depends on what you're looking for. But the important thing you need to understand here is that this information is available to you, and it comes in super handy on really big projects where there's multiple developers. You've got hundreds of tables, maybe thousands of views, and you're trying to organize or report on something. You need to make sure you understand this. Now I'm going to jump over to some things that I've put together, so we're not doing all of that in this session. So if I go into now my views and close up the system views, I want to show you some things that I've already, like I said, already put together. So if I have one here called systems, objects, columns. Let me run that. Okay. And in there, you'll see views with all the different column names. Now, again, if I come in here and say, show me just these guys where and I got to put parentheses around, where the view is like DQ underscore percent, what this guy does is it shows me all the fields for all of the views. So if I look at this guy right here, it says customer email address, has 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's email address, first name, middle name, test. This guy has, I don't know, looks like 6, 7, so on and so forth. But the reason that I use this is I actually use this particular view that is used in a job that creates metrics reports for me. And I need all of my metrics view names, and I need all the column names so that I can pull them down and use them to present data back to the client and show them what the data was in their data quality report. So this becomes very handy. If we look inside of this view and go into design mode, you'll see, first of all, the objects table or objects view, better, more correctly said. And also there's this view called columns. So this guy has like your object in it. This guy has the columns for the object. So for the table, it would be the field names. For a view, it would be the field names, so on and so forth. And when I run this, it goes through, and there's quite there's quite a few. But as you get down through here, you'll start seeing like some of the things that we were looking at where they start with DQ. All right, but those are two views that you definitely want to make sure you understand. And then if you just pay attention here, the way that you link those together with a join is object ID to object ID. This is secret sauce, y'all. Got to hang with me. Next, I'm going to show you how to actually get your code out of a particular view. So if I close this out, let's do that. And I'm just going to go over here to this guy, sys.objects DQ definition. Now, on this one, I've already got something popped in here for the name so that I'm just looking at my DQ objects. But inside of here, I want you to notice I'm using two different tables. You're used to seeing this one, the sys.objects view. And then over here, it says all SQL modules. That's where the SQL for a view or a table is stored. Now, why is that important? Let's say you were trying to find the word pass. So let's say you have data quality reports out there and you've programmed in word pass, and instead of pass, they want you to say true, right? So you want to find all the views out there that you've programmed in the code pass in, and you want to replace it with view. This can help you do that. So let me show you how that works. So if I come in here into the definition and say like percent pass percent and run that, it'll go through all the code and it'll find the definitions, and inside that definition will be the word pass. Now, the best way to show this to you is if I copy this and I put it into Notepad. Let me pull that up real quick. And I paste it. You'll see the word pass right here. This can be useful, so useful, like if you're doing a code change. Like let's say somebody wants to change material number to product, right? So you've got material in hundreds of views. You want to find them all. You want to maybe make a list so that you've got a working list so you can go through and then maybe assign it to different developers and then be able to track when they've moved from material number to product for each one of those views or tables. Well, hey, you've learned in this video how important sys objects are. Don't forget the key tables. You've got sys object, all SQL modules, and then we had sys columns was the other one. Hope this video was helpful. Have a great day and God bless.